Hello, how are you? Welcome to your class, and today we are going to learn percentages and how you can convert decimals into percentages and percentages to decimals. So let's start over. Okay, now only two things you need to learn over here, then you're done. That is 0.02 is a decimal, right? And you need to show it as a percentage. It means percentage sign is not written over here. You need to give it. What you need to do? You need to give it percentage. When you give someone, it means you multiply. When you take something, you divide, because divide means to reduce and multiply means to increase. Are you clear about this? Okay, now we need to give percentage to this decimal. It means we need to multiply it by 100, right? So when you will multiply it by 100, you know that whenever you multiply by tens, your decimal moves from left to right. How many times? As many times zero you have. So how many zeros we have? 1 2. So you need to move your decimal 2 times. 1 2. I'm writing it here like this. This decimal will be removed and it will move 2 times. 1 2, and here your decimal will stay now. So what it will become now? 2.0. 2.0 means 2, right? So now I have changed it into percentage, so I can write over here 2%. Okay, now let's start with some other examples. For example, now here you are given 5%. Okay, this is already a percentage. When you have percentage, you need to take it back. You need to take it back means you need to go down. So you have to change it into decimal. What you will do? You will multiply by 100. No, you will divide by 100. Why? Because we are taking back this percentage. It means I need to divide 5 by 100. Okay, so you remember that when we multiply by tens, your decimal moves forward. In the same way, when you divide by tens, what happens? Your decimal move in the opposite side, that is from right to left. You know that whenever you are dividing something, it means you are going down, you are going back. Okay, so back side you need to go. So now you have to see that where is your decimal at 5. Your hidden decimal is always at the end, so I can write it like this, 5.0. So I need to move my decimal 2 times, 1 and 2. So look at this, dash is empty. So what I can do, I can write a 0 over here, and this decimal will be moved here. It will come here. Now look at what it has become. It has become 0.050. I should write like this, 0.05. That's all. This 0 we don't need to write. Okay, so now some more examples. For example, 60% as decimals. So when you need to convert into decimal, it means you need to finish this percentage. You have to go down. It means you need to take back 100. So what we need to do, we need to divide this by 100, right? The same thing we have done before. So when you are dividing it by 100, what do we mean by that? We need to move our decimal. The hidden decimal is always at the end. We need to move our decimal 2 times, 1 2. So where your decimal will be placed now? Here. Okay, so now how should I write it? 0.60. Okay, now this is in the form of decimal. Okay, so now look at here, 59% as decimal. So how can we write it as decimal? Now we need to again take back this percentage. It means you can do it yourself. Now I'm writing here directly. How can you write? You need to divide it by 100. You need to go back 2 times. So here your decimal is going to stay. So we can even write directly like this if you have learned it. Look at this question now. Write 0.205 as a percentage. We have 0.205. Now you tell me, what should I do? Should I times by 100 or should I divide by 100? I need to give it percentage. It means I need to multiply it by 100, right? So it means my decimal is going to move forward. Okay, so how many times? 2 times. 1 2. Where your decimal is going to place? Here after 0. So this is your answer. Very simple. Okay, so now what we need to do, we need to write over here percentage sign as well. Why? Because we have converted into percentage, so you need to write it a percentage sign. Now you need to do this table. You have to match each decimal with its percentage. So can you tell me what is 0.05? This is a decimal. You need to give it percentage. Give means times. So when you will time, it means your decimal is going to move 2 times. It will become 5.0%. That means 5%, right? So we can match like this. And one more I'm going to do for this, like 0.02. So 0.02 again is same as 0.05. 2 times your decimal needs to move, and your decimal is going to stay after 2. 2.0 means 2%. So these were same. So should I do one more for you? Okay, so here is 0.35, or okay, take 0.5. So I'm choosing 0.5. 0.5 means how many times your decimal needs to move? 2 times. So it means 1 2 5 0. So this is 50%. Okay. Okay, so the other one you can do yourself. Let's do some more questions. Okay, so now what we have to do, we have to arrange these numbers in which order? Smallest to the largest. Whenever you have fractions, for example, I have 2 by 3 and 4 by 5. How can I come to know that which fraction is greater and which fraction is smaller? For that, you know that we need to make the denominators equal. In this case, we can multiply with each other. That is 3 times 5 and 5 times 3. But you know, we have to do the same thing on the top, like this and like this. So in this case, we have 10 divided by 15 and 12 divided by 15. Now you can tell me easily that this 12 is bigger than 10. It means this fraction that was actually 4 by 5 is greater than 2 by 3, right? So now it's very easy for us to identify. The same thing we are going to do over here. Now in this case, what we need to do, we need to remove this decimal. So can you tell me, to remove this decimal, what should I do? I need to take it from here at the end of this number. It means it will become 61.0, right? So it means how many times I need to move it? 2 times. So what should I do? I need to multiply it by 2 tens. That means 100. So this is done. Is it correct? Not at all. I have to do the same operation in the denominator. Very good. So now what I'm left with, I have 0.61 times 100. When I will do 0.61 times 100, what I will be left with? 61 only. Why? Because this decimal has been moved 2 times forward, and then this 100 will be finished. It means I will be left with 61 over 100. So this is your answer. That means that I have changed my decimal into fraction. So it is 61 divided by 100, right? Okay, now 59% means 59 divided by 100, because percentage shows that you have to divide by 100. Now for 0.06, again you need to change it into fraction. What should you do? You have to multiply it by 100. Why? Because you need to move your decimal 2 times forward, and the same thing you have to do in the denominator. What you will be left with? You will be left with 6 by 100. Okay, so here we have now 59 by 100, 61 by 100, and then 62 by 100. So now what they have said, smallest to largest. Which one is the smallest? 6 by 100. It will be first, and then we have second, this is third, and this is fourth. Because all the denominators are equal, now you can arrange your numbers easily. Okay, so this is done now. Over a season, a football team won 45%. How much? 45% they won, and drew 22%. Okay, So it means total they have is 45 and 22. You need to add it up. That is 67% in total. All right, they won and they drew. So what they have asked you, work out what percentage of games were lost. So 67% were won and drawn, so the left one will be lost. Total is always 100%, right? So 100% minus 67% will be the lost one. So what it would be? 33%, right? 100 minus 67 is 33, so your answer will be 33%. So they asked you to work out percentage of games were lost. 33% is your answer, but now you need to tell me that how we can write it in fraction. We can write it as fraction like this. If they ask you that you need to write it in fraction, you need to write like this. If they ask you simplify, you need to simplify as well, but 33 by 100 cannot be simplified, so that's why we are leaving as it is. Okay. Okay, now these are very simple ones. You need to do it quickly. 22% as a fraction. What do we mean by that? 20 by 100. So here you go. We need to simplify it. You know that the last zeros can be cancelled with each other. What you are left with? 2 to 10. Now they can be simplified by 2. 2 times 5 is 10. So what we are left with? 1 to 5. Right. So here we have 68% means 68 over 100. So which number you can choose to divide both numbers? If you don't know any number, you can start right away from 2. Okay. 2 times 3 is 6 and 2 times 4 is 8. 2 times 5 is 10 and 0 will be written as it is. So now I'm left with 34 to 50. Look at again, we have 0 and 4 at end. It means they are even numbers, can be divided by 2. So 2 times 25 is 50 and 2 times 17 is 34. Now look at, we cannot solve it any further because 17 is a prime number. So 17 to 25 is your simplified answer. So whenever you need to simplify, for example, write 37.5%. What is this? 37.5% into a fraction. It means what you need to do, you need to divide it by 100. We already have a decimal over here. So that's why what we need to do, we need to move this decimal backward, right? So when you will move your decimal from right to left, where it will place here, it will become 0.375, right? We are left with 0.375. Okay, so now we need to change it as fraction. It means what we have to do, we have to finish this decimal. Where should it place? At the end. How many times you need to move? 1, 2, 3, right? That means you need to times 0.375 by 3 tenths, right? Because it is 1, 2, 3. So by 3 tenths we need to multiply. Same thing we need to do at the bottom. Okay, so now this decimal will be finished. When we'll multiply it by 1000, it will become 375 divided by 1000. Okay, now we need to simplify. It has 5 at the end and 0 at the end, so we can divide it by 5. 5 times 7 is 35, right? And it will become 25. So 5 times 5 is 25. Here we have 5 times 2 is 10 and last zeros will be written as it is. Again we can divide it by 5. 5 times 1 is 5 and 5 times 5 is 25. 5 times 4 is 20 and 0 here. Now look at, we are left with 15 over 40. We can again divide it by 5 because it has 0 and 5 at the end. 5 times 3 and 5 times 8. So now we cannot solve it any further because 3 is a prime number. So 3 to 8 is your simplest form. Okay. I hope you understood and enjoyed your lesson as well. So see you in the next class. Take care.